Hello,
Hello,
everybody. My
everybody,
name is Luis
boys and
Gutierrez, and
girls,
welcome to
ladies and
episode
gentlemen. My
12 of
name
the
is
Geek
Luis
Press
Gutierrez, and
podcast. On
I'm
this
joined by
podcast, we
Jacob
talk
Knight.
about
As
the
you can
Zenimax
tell, we
Microsoft
switched back
purchase,
to an
our thoughts on
audio-only
WandaVision,
version.
Attack
That
on
is
Titan,
because it is a
South Park,
lot
and then we just
easier
kind of
to
ripped
like
from there.
render
I hope
and
you guys
edit
enjoyed this
and do all
episode.
the
And
upload
hey,
when we send
this
it to
time it doesn't
space, and
crash,
space
so I'm
sends it
really
right
proud of
back down
myself
to
on that one.
us. Then we got to send it to China for approval. It's a lot easier that way. I am your host.
AKA Lewis is lazy.
I am your host, Luis Gutierrez. I did not forget about my social media obligations, and I did not forget about anything. I've just been really busy with school. But we have a few topics today, and I am joined by my co-host, who is seemingly plotting to destroy me and take the Geek Press for himself, which he easily could because he has like all the passwords and emails and all that. Jacob Knight.
If you guys don't get that reference, that's because you didn't listen to the last podcast where I joked that Lewis was just didn't care about any of this. It was all me now, which is not true. Lewis, you work very hard. I'm very impressed by what you're able to do with such limited time you actually do have.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me and myself.
Just you and your anime
and my
posters.
JoJo poster.
And your JoJo poster.
But we don't really have too many topics. We're just gonna kind of riff and see where the conversation goes. But we do have a few talking points. But there's one I wanted to talk about. There was a deal that happened today. And I'm pretty sure you don't really know too much about it. So Microsoft bought Zenimax Studios, and Zenimax Studios are the people who own Bethesda games. And Bethesda games make games like Skyrim, Fallout, Doom, Wolfenstein, Dishonored. They make all those games, and they make a few others that I probably didn't name. Prey, and
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls, and they bought it for like $7.5 billion. Just to give you some perspective, that's more than what Disney spent on Marvel. No, Disney spent on Star Wars. That is way more. And that's more than what Microsoft had originally spent to purchase Minecraft back in the day. And like Minecraft is arguably just as successful as Star Wars, if not more. And it's crazy.
Take that.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like this deal finally went through, which I didn't have any doubt in my mind it was gonna get like not approved because it needed to be approved by the SEC and like the European commissions. So because this is like a big ass fucking purchase, it's like one mega company purchasing another mega company, and I think it's really cool that that this is happening because they said in a quote, and they're still being really vague about it. They said that some titles are going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC, but they didn't say which ones. But it makes me kind of happy because like I don't really like exclusives, but at the end of the day, I have an Xbox, so I'm like, if we get some cool exclusives, that's cool with me. So I'm really happy about that.
I believe that because this is literally the biggest purchase in this field ever.
Yeah,
and I could definitely see them being, oh, we need exclusives. PlayStation is always throwing their exclusives in our face and teabagging us with your exclusives. So finally, we're gonna have our own Wolfenstein, Elder Scrolls. We're gonna have all that.
Yeah, and it makes me pretty happy that this is happening. And I've seen a lot of like, because I'm like on gaming Twitter a lot, so like I see like for lack of a better term, like PlayStation, Xbox fanboys, and it was like always these PlayStation people. Oh, Xbox shouldn't be making this exclusive only. I'm like, stop your bitching. No. Like honestly, like I saw this.
You're happy with your Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Don't act like you're not.
They have fucking great games. Like they have what, Final Fantasy 16 coming out for the PlayStation, Final Fantasy 7, Spider-Man, Last of Us, Uncharted, God of War. Like that's just a few, and there's like a plethora of library games. Like shut the fuck up, you know. And
do you think that'll really help push Game Pass as well with all these Bethesda titles?
What I think Xbox is in the market of now, I don't think they're trying to sell you hardware per se. I think the hardware is for more of like I guess more people like me, where it's like, okay, you know, they already have the console, this and that, they already know the brand, they trust us. So they're trying to get people like you, where it's like, oh, okay, maybe I will play the new Elder Scroll. All I need to do is download Game Pass, and fuck, I could play it on my phone, or I could play it on my laptop now, because that's really what they're trying to do now, is trying to get you under service, because like it's been proven time and time again, subscription-based services are more successful than like a one-time $60 fee.
Mhm. Which is kind, I would say, a mostly terrible thing for uh player wise. It's mostly a terrible thing for us, especially when you get a game that is barely finished but is pushed out on the market,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to wait like a year for updates in things that you should have had in the original game. And I'm talking about Final Fantasy 15. So much stuff in there was added a year later, and it's crazy how much stuff in a game like that was not in it. So these subscriptions are crazy.
Oh wait, really? Like, so the
I don't
game?
want to buy season passes.
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah, I'm sorry. What are you gonna say?
I didn't know that
I'm
about Final
sorry. Go.
Fantasy, that most of the game wasn't
Mhm.
like really finished. So
Yeah.
that's pretty funny.
Like for instance, the character switching wasn't even a part of the game till like 7 months later.
What?
You know the different stories.
Mm-hmm.
Those came in waves. So you didn't get like what's Ignis's story until
Uh-huh.
like 9 months later.
Until like everyone like finished
So
the game at that point.
yeah, and then by then so before you got that cutscene with the update, you would just see like a major character got altered in a way, and you're like, how did that happen? You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So this game and games like it that are just pushed out, sometimes these subscription fees are really just getting you. They're real gutting you,
Mm-hmm. And
which is
I'm pretty excited too because like Microsoft has had like a very like laissez-faire like approach on these studios. They're like, we're gonna
mhm,
let you do your thing, and just when you're done, you're done. Don't trip. We got Game Pass over here supporting you. So, and most of them too
yeah.
don't have like microtransactions or anything like that. Like I know Sea of Thieves has a battle pass, but it's like free.
Mhm,
And there's like maybe out of like the battle pass, like traditional battle passes have like 100 tiers for, but like for like
mhm,
their battle pass, if you want like the premium stuff, there's only maybe like 15 premium things on there,
mhm.
but the rest is free. So like that's cool. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm willing to kind of like turn the other cheek because not the whole thing is like that.
Mhm.
But
And I think that's really great
mm-hmm,
that they're doing all this, especially since they're still waiting for Halo, which was supposed to be their kind of Xbox Series X headlining
mm-hmm.
title, which I totally am okay and understanding of them pushing that back. But I think stuff like this for people that have been waiting for Halo will help push them. Like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
maybe I
of
should get it
course.
now that I got these Bethesda games. I can wait for Halo and just play
Now,
Skyrim or whatever. I don't know. Is Skyrim Bethesda?
yeah, Skyrim is, but that's an Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I made a reference.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think this is overall like a good thing for them. And like I
Mhm,
said, if like let's say you, for example, you're like, I want to play the new Elder Scroll, but it's exclusive on Xbox. Fuck it, I'll just pay because like I think your first month is like $3 for it's three
mhm.
dollars for 3 months. That's the hook. That's how
I
they
like
get you
that.
in. Yeah, and you're like, all right, fuck it, 3 months. I could beat the new Elder Scrolls in 3 months. Ah, I got a few other games on here. Let me play on my phone, or fuck it, let me just play it on my laptop real quick. And I think that's the beauty of it all too, is that you don't need an Xbox to be playing all these games.
Mhm.
Do
Which is really nice.
you have
I
any
know the
final? Oh, what are you saying? Go for it.
No, go ahead.
No, keep going. Just.
No, I had nothing. I was just
Okay.
gonna. I guess. Do I have any final thoughts on this?
Mhm.
It's just that I am really proud of people that have stuck with Xbox because it really sucks. And PlayStation for life. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm really happy that this is like finally a thing now because I'm like, I just said it like in my last Geek Press video that went up
Mhm,
today. Like I went through a whole generation of having maybe like five exclusives. Maybe like
mhm,
it wasn't five. It was like no more than 15 exclusives,
mhm.
and that's ridiculous. That's a big no no.
I want to know if you know anything about contracts. Like, for instance, Elder Scrolls. Like, say an earlier edition of that
Hmm.
was on PlayStation. Could you still play that on PlayStation? Like, download it from their
Yeah.
store, or would all of it be wiped and only Microsoft?
So here's like the speculation because they said some games are going to be exclusive, so not all.
Okay.
Bethesda has been teasing this new game that they've been working called Starfield, and we don't
Mhm.
really know too much about it. But it's the general consensus. It's like Skyrim or Fallout, but in space.
Mhm.
it's their space version. So like people are saying, oh, that's gonna be an exclusive because that's an unannounced game, or maybe the new Fallout going forward, the new Skyrim going forward. So like the games that are already on PlayStation are gonna still be on
Mhm.
PlayStation. And there's been a topic of debate because there's this game coming out for PlayStation called Deathloop.
Mhm.
That's a Bethesda game, but this was made way before the deal.
Okay.
So they're gonna honor their contract, and they're like, oh, this is gonna be a
Yeah, of
PlayStation
course.
exclusive. But now that they own it, they're like, oh, could this be a timed exclusive? So like they get it for like the first year,
Yeah.
and then we get it now. But I don't know too much. No,
Mhm.
they haven't said anything. So this
They'd
is
really have
still,
to renegotiate the contract terms for that, I
yeah,
think.
and I don't. I mean, Deathloop looks fun, but if the contract is already made, just let PlayStation have it. You know, whatever.
Mhm.
Um,
Let us have everything. Excellent.
like it'd be cool to have, but
Yes.
just let them have it. It's no worries. But yeah, that's the whole thing right there. But do you have any other
Mhm.
remarks on this?
I just think, I think we're being nothing really aside from the
Hmm.
fact that I hate subscription services like this. That's all I have to say. I already said my 2 cents on that. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say on that.
Okay, I think we're gonna jump into our next topic. Yeah, because I pretty much said everything I wanted to say on that too. We were,
Division,
we were,
what division,
yeah, we were talking
one
about this.
division, what division,
So,
one division, one division.
so I was wrong. I thought they were gonna
Yes.
introduce some X-Men.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
spoilers ahead for
oh yeah, we're going full
you haven't
spoilers.
seen if you haven't seen. But then again, it doesn't need to be a spoiler to know that X-Men weren't going to be involved because that's not part of the show. And I feel like that was very clear by the first couple of episodes that dimensional things was outside the scope of the show. So,
So I was wrong. I will
yes, as
admit.
usual.
Shut the fuck up. And I overall like I was pretty bummed out by the ending. We talked.
Yeah.
This might sound redundant to you because we already had this conversation, but I'm just gonna have it
Mhm.
again.
Yeah, of
I
course.
didn't like how Vision got his memory back, but that Vision didn't go back to Wanda and like tell her like, "Yo, I'm alive." Like, why did he keep that away from her when he got evaporated? And like, you know, we joked about this, but this is the epitome of white privilege. No one stopped Wanda. She was clearly the bad guy in this scenario.
I
Like,
mean,
sure,
yeah, all the police officers tried to shoot Monica, but they tried
yeah,
to shoot
exactly.
Wanda. No.
They shot the black person, but they didn't shoot the white person.
Okay, here's my thinking behind this.
Okay.
It's that Vision was kind of like, you need to let me die. You
Hmm.
are holding on to me because this whole show, I'm not
It's
going to
like
be
her
like one of those people
grieving.
like, well, actually, this show is about like, I'm not going to be one of those people. But I think the show is kind of about, grief and kind of letting it go. And I feel like if it was just like, hey, there's another me, everything's fine, then she's not going to like learn anything from it. She's not going to
Hmm.
progress from it. Like when White Vision showed up, she was like, Vision, like you would have known right then and there. She would have dropped her illusion and jumped for that guy. Like that
Hmm.
wasn't the point. And I feel like this White Vision who just dipped, he was just like, bye,
Yeah, like where the fuck did
like
he go?
just
Like,
faded away.
like he got up and left during the middle of that fight. He's like, all right,
Mhm.
I'm done. Like that's it. Like both divisions
Yeah.
had enough time to have a fucking conversation about the ship of Thesis or what
Mhm.
was it? They had this whole
Thesis, yeah.
yeah, they had this whole philosophical conversation while Wanda's fighting for her fucking life in the corner.
Vision gave White Vision like Psych 101 tests.
Exactly. Like I'm like
He's just like,
but yeah, that's what really upset me.
mhm.
It's like you really like I get it. Like there's not too many people if no one to really stop her, but at least to make an attempt to fucking stop her. Like, you know, like
I I think it's weird. You know what okay. They had two end credit sequences.
mhm,
One with Monica meeting a scroll, and then one with Wanda reading a book. I think they should have had Monica with the scroll as the last scene in the show, and then instead of that as a secret
credit.
end credit scene,
Mhm.
you have Vision showing up somewhere. So at least we know where he's going. Because right now he's just up. Like he could maybe go to, I don't know, God, like Scott Lang's house. He can show up with Emma and just be like,
Uh-huh.
oh, have him do something. Because I understand the show kind of left a lot of things open because its story about that romance was closed and that was its focus. But it
Mhm.
did leave a lot of things open.
And that's what really upset me too, especially that like we're living in a COVID
Mhm.
world. So it's like, oh, watch our movies. I'm like, motherfucker, we can't. Like, your movies all got pushed back. Like, what the fuck, you know? Like, come
I
on.
feel bad for Black Widow. I do.
Exactly. That got pushed back like what, like 4 times already? So
And
that,
I'm just like, are people gonna watch it?
yeah, exactly. That's what's getting me upset. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, you're gonna expect us to wait like a whole nother year now just to like get this, but it's the show is good, but like I just can't get over the fact that like they let Wanda free. She was clearly the
Yeah.
bad guy. Like at the end of the day, this all happened because of her, whether she intended it or not. She made these people's life a living hell. Sure, Agatha
Yeah.
like pulled some strings here and there, but overall, it was all her.
I think while we're not gonna see any immediate repercussions of her actions, I think that's something that's gonna be maybe explored. Remember, because Agatha, when she was getting her ass kicked, she was like, "You don't know what you've done."
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something terrible is gonna
I'm
happen to
thinking right
Scarlet
there.
Witch.
My guess is like maybe Dormammu, or like what
Yeah.
everyone like the famous theory was maybe
Mhm.
Mephisto. Like who
Yeah.
do you think that they were like alluring to right there?
See, the thing is, whenever I have these conversations, I
We're
want to be
always
like,
totally off.
uh, no, I want to be like, well, in the comics, but these shows don't give a heck about the
Oh
comics.
no.
They just take names and do whatever they
Uh
want.
huh.
So I feel like it could be anyone, Dormammu or Mephisto, but in the comics, it's Mephisto who has Wanda's kid's soul. So perhaps it's Mephisto. But yeah, I we don't know. That's the thing.
uh,
Did you see people on Twitter get mad about the Quicksilver reveal? But his name was Matt Boner.
I thought that was funny. He was like, "Huh,
I know.
boner."
I saw people were so mad. They're like, "That's what you're doing with Quicksilver, a throwaway line." And I said, "Yes, bitch. I don't want that Quicksilver. He did a good job, but let's have a new Quicksilver. Let's have a
Mhm.
new X-Men." I don't know why people want the baggage of the old X-Men. It had some high points. It had some good actors, but it's time for a new generation. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
X
No,
Men, the new generation.
like Degrassi.
Yeah.
But did you notice? Have you? I don't know if you've seen an Instagram post. Wanda's suit looks almost like Magneto's. It looks like a
Yeah.
female version of Magneto suit.
That was cool. That
That
was
which is,
really cool.
I mean, I feel like Marvel fans would make like a 40-minute video on one that connects universes. Like, oh, don't you see? She peered into another dimension and saw her father. Like, I could see Marvel fans making a video like that.
Yeah, I was watching like TikToks and all that too, where it was like
Mhm.
completely like people are like, "Here's why not John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic is gonna pop up," and this, and I'm like, damn, like it was cool at first because I kind of missed. It reminded me of a life before COVID. So, but then the
Like
more,
theorizing.
yeah, but then the more I started watching like those TikToks, because it was like on my For You page, I'm like,
Mhm.
shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, you know? Like, you're like, oh, this theory, Dormammu and
Mhm.
Mephisto are secretly gay lovers, and Doctor Strange is gonna, of course I'm making some shit up, but it was like
Yeah, yeah.
some far fetched stuff like that. I'm like, just shut up.
You know, this is getting kind of dangerous because there was a scene because I was reading an article. I'm probably misquoting it, but I was reading an article where they were thinking, I think they cut a scene or cut a direction of what could have happened because they're
Uh
like,
huh.
oh, if you put this in, fans are going to theorize, and that's not what this is about. So fans are really pushing this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm worried that no matter whether or not the fans are pushing something in a good or bad way, it's going to really interfere with the trajectory of the art itself. And I know that sounds pretentious, but there's a quote by George R. R. Martin. I'm going to quote that if you plan for the maid to be the killer and everyone guesses the maid and you change it at the last minute, then you're cheating your story.
Mm-hmm.
So if just because everyone's saying something, you shouldn't alter your course just to please them or go along with that fan theory. You just should tell the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, and you know, like I
I
was
know.
I was done with the MCU like after
Mhm.
Endgame. Not because it was bad, just because I got like burnt out, And
Yeah,
I
I would
was
say that too.
and this kind of like brought me back in, but the ending like
Mhm.
it threw me back out, Like
I
uh
think that's why I like these shows because they're MCU light. They feel like MCU light,
exactly.
like they're not full MCU.
And I've been telling my buddies like WandaVision was a step in the right direction because it was new, it was different. It was
Mhm.
it was like I said, it was new, it was different. But
Yeah.
when I look at Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm like, okay, this is my Fast and the Furious. This is what I watch because it's I
Yeah,
know
this
what
is your fun.
I know what I'm getting with this, you know?
Mhm.
So that's why I'm like looking forward to having that, especially again going back to like COVID. We're living in a
Mhm.
COVID world, so we can't be picky with what we get right now. Just be happy. We got
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry, and we got WandaVision. Pick your poison.
I'm really excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier because I don't know anything about Falcon. Like
Really?
he just kind of shows, yeah. I mean, he just, I mean, in MCU,
Oh, okay, okay.
he you know, in Captain America 2, he shows up. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a pilot, and he just kind of sticks around.
Hmm.
We don't. Does he like sandwiches? Does he play the violin? Does he? I mean, like we know a few things about him, but I want to get to know the
And
character.
I
I'm
was
excited for that.
I was explaining too to some of my friends. All of these characters I love in the comics. I love Sam Wilson. I love Bucky Barnes and all of them, and they have the perfect formula to do something good. Especially like Baron Zemo
Mhm,
getting his comic costume. That's awesome.
mhm.
Having Agent America in, that's awesome.
Oh
Like,
yeah, the U.S. agent. No,
yeah, yeah. Wait, isn't I don't is Agent America his name or
I
is
don't
it
remember. That's why I'm asking. I don't know.
okay? But having all of these like B-list
Mhm.
characters in here that I am all fond of, uh, it has potential to do something cool, and I'm happy to
Uh,
see that, and I want to see where they go with this.
would you want them to do more like Jessica Jones, Daredevil, that kind of stuff?
I say
I
kind of
think.
kind of like a Daredevil. But the thing is like I like Agent America just because he's like the polar opposite of Steve Rogers. He's kind of an asshole, you
Yeah.
know? And he's like have you seen The Boys?
No, but
Okay.
I think I might get what you're trying to
He's kind
say.
of like Homelander where he's like face
Yeah.
value. He's like, "Hey," and then as soon as you close the door, he'll pop you in the back of the head because you fucking said something stupid.
Mhm.
And then I like Baron Zemo. I really love them in Nazi Captain America story. I
Ugh.
like the role he played in there.
Ugh.
And I've been
Ugh.
I've been a
I.
big advocate that the MCU has really butchered the Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
like because he is essentially the Red Hood of the Marvel universe, and like in the comics he's cool. He has a lot of
Kind
cool,
of.
yeah, like he has a lot of cool similarities and like a lot of cool stuff in the comics, but he hasn't done anything significant since the Winter Soldier,
Because
and
he's just tied to Steve the entire time. So now that both him and Sam, who are both tied to their
mhm.
boyfriend Steve, is finally that his old white ass is done, they can go on an adventure. Like I'm down for.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited to see like maybe this could redeem Bucky in my eyes in the MCU.
Are you gonna watch Loki?
Yeah, so okay, so we got Winter Soldier, we got Loki,
Uh-huh.
What If, and is Hawkeye coming out this year?
Yeah.
Okay, no one's talking about Hawkeye. Like literally no one.
Uh, I like the other Hawkeye. I'm gonna watch that show just
Kate
for
Bishop,
her.
right?
Yeah, Kate Bishop.
I know nothing about Kate Bishop.
She's pretty chill.
Isn't that it's his
That's about
daughter,
it.
right?
No,
It's not?
she's no, she's not. Not everyone's someone's daughter, Lewis. She kind of with the Young Avengers when they first started forming, she and Cassie Lang saw the three boys that like doing superheroics, and she was just like, "Hey, I'm a trained Olympian. I'm gonna be a superhero too." So she just picks it up and she becomes a Hawkeye.
That's awesome. You think they're gonna retire Hawkeye's character?
I mean, I'd be down if they want to retire him. I don't know how much longer Jeremy Renner wants to do this. I feel like he either is done or he's either the type of person who's done and over it,
Hmm.
or he could do it forever. I don't see a middle ground for him.
Huh. I never thought of Jeremy Renner too much, but yeah, that makes some sense. I could see that. Um, okay, so you're excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Obviously, you're excited for Loki because Loki
Yeah.
looks like the most
I'm not
fun. Oh, really?
I don't know. Because I didn't watch Avengers, the first Avenger movie. I didn't watch it till 2018,
Yes, yes,
and
we know.
I still haven't seen I still haven't seen the first and second Thor.
Have you seen Ragnarok?
So I have seen Ragnarok,
Okay, did
but
you like
I'm
him in
just not
Ragnarok?
attached. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, because I didn't like him until Ragnarok. I thought he was a fucking asshole up until then.
But when he died, I wasn't like, oh no. I was like, oh, that sucks.
No, when he died, I was
So
like,
I'm
I
not
knew
that
he was gonna
invested.
die. That didn't hit me as much as it
Mhm.
as much as it hit others. But
So I know some people were just crying, and I'm just like, oh, okay,
I mean, they
what's the
basically
problem?
showed it in the trailer too. Wasn't he like getting choked out or something?
Mhm.
I
Oh, I
mean,
don't remember.
I could be making that up.
I have an Instagram story from a long ass time ago of us in the newsroom at our college newspaper,
Hmm.
and everyone's watching the trailer and everyone's around it, and I'm just sitting at the desk like these fools.
I remember
Remember the
that.
hype for that?
That was
Remember the hype
big.
for Infinity
That
War?
was big. Yeah. You remember Disneyland? Wait, what's today? Oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new South Park episode. The vaccine
Oh,
special.
I don't
Listen,
watch that.
I don't get why people bag on South Park. We got you and the Diegos of the world saying South Park is the lowest bar of comedy, but no. Okay, South Park is very current, and they are on the mark time and time again. That shit is fucking satire gold. Like,
Okay, I want to say that I did not say that it's the lowest common number. I never said that.
I know you haven't,
What
but I've seen people say that.
what I
And
say,
we love you,
okay,
Diego. I just like to throw you under
our
the
friend
bus.
Diego, the Waffle Press podcast, shout out to them.
Hmm.
They'll never have me on, anyways.
Or me.
Or me, even though Diego promised me, but that's besides the point. The point is, the thing about South Park is what works with parody is that parody takes jabs at the original content, and it's supposed to show what works and what doesn't work. But with things like Cartman, it starts off as something like, oh, don't do this. But the more they gave to Cartman and the more the character got more well known, instead of being a symbol of someone, don't do this, people are like, yeah, he's right. And they start adapting him as someone who is right when he's not made to be right. He's made to be a terrible person you're supposed to make fun of, but instead people are on his side. And that is
I don't
toxic.
know if you watch South Park, like it's okay. I'm saying this right now because I just watched the COVID, the
Okay.
pandemic special.
Okay.
Like he is clearly in the wrong, and like they make it abundantly clear. Like there's a whole stick of where like the kids are going back to school, and he's like,
Mhm.
no, I don't want to go back to school. I love being in virtual world, and it's showing him like taking advantage of the system, like putting up a picture of
Mhm.
himself and then going downstairs and eating cereal, playing video games, or just him talking about like how virtual learning is the best because he's not learning. So I think it's
Yeah, but
like,
people are gonna say, "Oh, he has a point." Literally, people. I'm sure you could find some article
but those people are fucking
about
idiots. Then don't listen to them.
yeah, but I'm saying I'm sure you could find an article about anti-Semitism linked to Cartman.
That's a stretch. That's a
No, it
stretch.
is not. No, it is not. I'm gonna you talk right
All
now. I'm
right,
gonna
I
time
will
out.
talk, okay? Because the pandemic special, I just saw it and it was pretty good. They found out when to help fight the coronavirus was Randy, and then he nuts in the in the weed, and everyone has a little Randy mustache. And then once at the end, when they're like, "Yo, we finally found we found a way to like possibly build a fucking vaccine." Trump, which is Mr. Garris, comes out and kills the scientist, and he's like, "Yo, fuck this, we're not gonna let it happen," which is it's gold because like it's a reflection of what's happening in real life, you know. And now,
That is. I tried watching the last season, and
hmm
it's the one where he has the weed farm.
yeah, Integrity Farms.
Yeah, Integrity Farms, and it's just I the only point that I liked it was uh when he got arrested and his family was finally happy. Like his wife was just like, yeah, like the things only work when people are punished, but no one is ever truly punished in that show.
I disagree
There
with
are
you.
no
There
consequences, and
are
I get
consequences
tired
in
of
that
that.
show. There is such
Okay, give me some
continuity.
consequences.
Like when
Literally, how many times has Kenny died?
well, that's the joke. Kenny comes back though. That's been established from like episode 1. He pops up like in episode 2 again after they kill him. Like with Chef,
I
they
don't
they
know.
they got rid of Chef. Some of the consequences is Mr. Garris, obviously he's not a teacher anymore. He's the president. Well, I don't know if he's the president
Mhm,
anymore in the South Park lore. But what else? What else? Fuck, they got rid of the principal and now it's PC principal. And
mhm,
some of the consequences with Cartman when he found out that like he doesn't really have a dad, or
mhm.
not
His
Cartman, no, it was
mom
Kenny. It
was
was Kenny.
she had both
No, it was Cartman.
sexes.
Yeah, it was Cartman. Yeah, there's just a lot of consequences. There's a lot of continuity that carries over. Like I said, you have
Mhm.
to look at like the most. I say like the last like 4 seasons or the last 5 seasons going forward. There's a big continuity. because until then they were just like throwaways.
Mm-hmm.
Are you finding an article? Are you ready to
I
admit you're wrong?
I am okay. I'm not saying I'm wrong. You're right. I'm just saying that I feel like there's something there. Like
No, there's that.
here.
That's a stretch. I swear to
Okay.
God, if you find
No,
something
I'm
off
gonna
like a weird website,
no Financial Times.
the Financial Times.
The Financial
Who the fuck's
Times.
the
I'm gonna
Financial
just
Times?
okay. It's not such a great leap from there to the alt right, which can resemble an extended South Park episode for people who have forgotten that it is meant to be a joke.
Mm-hmm.
There is the same anti elitism, the same appeal to educated young men who resent being trammeled in thought and speech, but none of the same lightheartedness and humanity, none of the same rigorous equidistance between absurdities of left and right. So, like, it's saying that while Matt Stone and Trey Parker's attempt to kind of make a clown of both sides of the argument and kind of say, search for the humanity within this and kind of just make fun of these extremes,
Mm-hmm.
people don't take that and they look at the extreme and say, look, South Park did this and they're right. And I'm going to quote it on Reddit. And now this is my stance. Instead of looking into like an actual message, they just grab what they want and they use Cartman as like a poster child. I swear.
I have never seen anyone, and I am like on the far right side of the internet and the far left side of the internet. I have never seen anyone use Cartman as a political symbol. The only time I've ever seen Cartman used as a symbol was like when Rudy said everyone had to respect my authority his shirt. That's the only time I've seen Cartman
I'm just
plastered.
saying.
I think you're wrong on that one. I'm gonna have to call you out on
Okay.
that
I'm
one.
saying it's a okay. Can we at least agree that it's a dangerous line?
Respect my
Oh,
authority?
okay. No, just can we at least say that there is a chance of this happening?
Yes, yes. Okay, I will agree with that. There is a chance of, I feel like with any medium, like of,
Mm.
anyone could misconstrue something like that. But
And
let's
I
talk.
just I couldn't stand. Okay, I
uh,
couldn't stand the border stuff.
you really? The Mexican
The
Joker?
children in the no, I didn't like that. That wasn't funny to me.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, they take jabs at everyone, you know? Like, it's like they literally make fun of everything. And that whole thing was to, like, showcase, like, how fucked up it is. Because it's true. Are you there?
I mean, like,
Oh, okay.
didn't they shoot Token and nothing came of it, right?
Yeah, in the pandemic special, they shot Token, and then they blamed COVID of that. But that was like, again, they were making fun of, like, how cops, they're shining a light on something like this too.
Yeah, but the viewers don't go, "Oh, they're right." They're just like, "Oh," like people aren't getting whatever message it is.
I would disagree
I
with
just
you.
I just don't think
I
so.
I
I don't
I,
think so.
I'm willing to give the benefit to the people to where they're like, okay, I understand what they're saying right here.
This is maybe the second biggest thing we've ever strongly
South
disagreed on
Park.
aside from WandaVision. South Park, and because I'm not saying it's totally bad, but I'm saying there's
Mhm.
definitely stuff there that people can take and run with
Mhm.
and use to boost their own hate driven arguments.
And I gotta disagree with you on that one, okay? But with that, let's talk about Attack on Titan.
The other Nazi show, huh?
Yeah, that is a very Nazi-driven show. But this has been as the show's been going on, there's been a lot of people saying, and it's pissing me off. And my girlfriend is like, "Why is this getting you mad?" Because I'm like, "Cause they're wrong." People on the internet are saying, "Oh, there's only 4 episodes left of Attack on Titan." I'm like, "No, no, there's not. There's a lot this show has to cover,
Mhm.
and they are not gonna wrap this shit up in 4 episodes."
Oh no,
Yeah, if they wrap
they're
this shit up
not.
in 4 episodes, like that is gonna be a very
What,
shitty
what
ending.
what if they have like a really stuffed 4 episodes and then do a movie?
Mm, that'd be cool, but like I feel like if they did a movie, it wouldn't give them time to do like proper setups because when you think of like anime
Mm.
movies, it's like 20-30 minute setups and then 40 minutes action, which I'm not
Yeah, but
complaining.
that well, all the setup is in the show.
True. I don't know. Maybe if it's done properly, then yeah, I could see that happening. But the reason why I say no is because like they just discovered that Zeke is fucking he was potentially drugging everybody right now. And
Oh, with the spinal fluid.
yeah, like they're like
Yeah.
Zeke was we're pretty sure everyone who's a someone is drugged and any second
Mhm.
he's going to kill us all right now. and
Mhm.
the like Reiner's people and the Cart Titan, they're already there on the island. Like they're not gonna wrap that shit up in 4 episodes. There's a lot they've introduced this season that needs to be fleshed out.
Mhm. You
But
know, I think I do know where they're gonna end it too.
yeah, isn't there only like one more chapter left or volume or two?
I think there's one volume left in the manga, but to anybody who hasn't read Attack on Titan, I kind of half-hearted joked about Nazi. If you want to read this show, it is if you want to read or watch this show, you can make up your own mind.
It's a good show.
Yeah. I mean, our
But where they
another
drew inspiration
part-time
is about
co-host. It's kind of weird. So I'm not gonna tell you whether or not to watch it, but it's kind of weird. But that's my own opinion, I guess.
so here's a conversation I've been having with my friends. Is Aaron Jaeger a bad guy? Because I do not think he's a bad guy.
I think he's sort of an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think it's gonna be that anime thing where they're just like, "You lost your way," and
Mm-hmm.
he's just like, "No, I haven't. I'm doing this because I'm the real hero.
Yeah,
I'm
where he's like,
killing
I found my
everyone.
way.
I found my way." And then at the last moment, his friends are gonna be like, "No, we still love you," and he's just like, "All right, I'm probably gonna die or something, but I won't kill anybody."
Because
And then they're gonna be like, "Yay!" And
I've had this topic with certain friends, and some people are like, no, dude, he's a he's a bad guy. He like killed all these people.
Mhm.
Like he went to their place and just started mollywopping civilians, which is it's a bad thing. You know, I'm not gonna justify that, but
I'm also pretty sure he kills his own people too on the other side of the sea. Uh, I don't know about that, but yeah.
but like he what he did to them is no different than what Reiner and Berthold did to them in the very first episode. You know, and like
Well, you know what Granny Flash used to say: "An eye for an eye, and everyone goes blind."
but still, here's my another counterpoint to that one. Okay,
Okay.
they were I forget who his name was. The
It's probably
family
German.
the
Probably a
family
German name.
who had
Oh,
the
Sasha's family, no?
no fuck, what's his name, the new Titan they introduced that immediately gets killed.
Okay, I don't remember.
The
I
Hammer
haven't read
Titan.
that part in a
There we
while.
go, the Hammer Titan.
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
family who owned the Hammer Titan, he was a spokesperson. They declared war on them
Yeah.
on and they were gonna go invade them already. Like that was his whole speech. It was like, yo, the enemy's over there. They're only getting stronger. We have enough fucking manpower to go and take them out. Let's go do it now. Aaron beat them to the
Oh,
punchline.
imagine though if they had come to the island with all their ships, all their stuff,
Yeah, it would have
and they're
been
about to dock. They're about to go to the docks, but then you have their Titans in the water, and then they bust out and just start destroying everything. Wouldn't that be crazy?
that would have been cool. But
But
like yeah, like
yeah.
but Aaron just beat him to the punchline. That's all it was.
Mhm.
And like Gabby is painting Aaron as like this terrible person.
The whole internet hates this anime girl. Everyone hates Gabby.
I don't hate Gabby. I just find her a little bit annoying because when you think she's finally had some like turnaround, she just
Mhm.
completely 180s again, back to her like original self. You know?
She's very much like an abstinent child.
Mm-hmm. Because like there's been moments where like she's been taken in by the people of Paradise Island, and she's like,
Mhm.
oh my god, maybe they're good people. But then the first fucking instance she has to stab him in the neck, she'll take it. I'm like, what happened to
Yeah,
that character development you just had? You just throw it all away, bitch. Like,
just for the drama. She loves drama.
yeah,
She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna
exactly.
stab someone right now."
And like I don't hate Gabby, but I see why people hate Gabby. I just
I
find
hate
her
the things
annoying.
she does.
Yeah, she's a product of her environment. You can't hate her on that, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's what's really interesting is that both sides are just products of their environment,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very disturbing to see a group of people make two groups of people fight each
That
other,
are
and I
the
think that's
same
kind of the
race.
point. Yeah, like if you just like if you had all Latinx Mexican people in America in camps and you had them go over to fight
People
everyone
would,
from Mexico and
yeah.
South America, it's incredibly effed up, and
Mm-hmm.
I that's kind of what the show is kind of alluding to, and it's just I don't know how you can resolve a happy ending with all the tragedy that has
Mm.
happened.
No, I don't.
And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the
Mm-hmm.
point is that the tragedy never goes away.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like Attack on Titan. it's not gonna have a happy ending. I feel like it's
Mm.
gonna be one of those endings where you just it's gonna leave you broken. It's gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? You know, like
Mhm.
I just saw Aaron kill Mikasa because she said you have to kill me in order to kill Reiner. You know, but
Mhm.
obviously, like that hasn't happened. It probably won't happen, but you're gonna see some extreme shit like that. You know, so that's what I'm like. I'm more interested to see into, especially too, because I saw this tweet a little while back that the creator of
Mhm.
Attack on Titan said that he was gonna build a spa using. He was gonna make a spa, and he was gonna use all the tears of Attack on Titan fans once the ending's done.
He
So
could do it too.
yeah, so I'm excited to see where it ends. Like even if it's a bad
Mhm.
ending, because like I'm gonna kind of shift a little bit. I didn't hate the ending of Game of Thrones. I didn't think it was like all that bad, like everyone said it was. And I'm like, oh, it was a solid ending for what they had, you know. So I feel like I don't think Attack on Titan is gonna end on the same level that Game of Thrones ended on, where they disappointed some people. But I feel like it's gonna be just as divisive.
I don't just because we could go into a whole thing right now, Game of Thrones. I also don't think the ending of Game of Thrones was that bad,
Hmm.
but they certainly did not earn that ending.
Oh no, not at all. Like
They did not build to that
killing
ending.
Khaleesi like that, and I could see her going like on a rampage. It made sense, but if they fleshed it out a bit more,
Mm.
and
Yeah, give her a whole season. Like since if anybody is
or at least
interested
give her an
on this
episode or
whole,
two of her losing her shit.
yeah, but if anyone's interested on that, Lindsay Ellis, just search Lindsay Ellis Game of Thrones. She does a wonderful video like a video essay about how this was just so poorly done, and it's interesting. Just give Danny a season, like just do another season then. A&D, I don't know. They should have done
But yeah, I'm excited to see where Attack on Titan goes because it's like
it.
I'm really hooked on this show, like really, really hooked. And I've been told by you and other people who are reading the
Mhm.
mangas that it only gets better, and it only gets that much more
Uh,
insane.
I don't know about better, but it gets more insane. That's for
Yeah, well,
sure.
that's what I
Things,
mean. Like, it only gets crazier from here.
Mhm.
Because, like, I could see the setups already because it's like you have the Jaegerists who are like, who literally taken over the fucking government. And then they're like,
Mhm.
yo, we're not going to listen to them because even though they gave us the keys to the kingdom, they're still planning to kill me. I'm not a fucking idiot, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, these guys are over here playing like 5D chess with one another.
And it's crazy. The only character that I had no annoyance with was Sasha, and she was murdered. So everyone else I'm slightly annoyed with. So
I think what kind of annoys me is how much of a boner that Mikasa and
mhm.
Armin have for fucking I'm blanking on his name, the main character. What's his name?
Eden.
Aaron. Yeah, I was like, dude, like, yeah, I get it, but like, don't have such a boner for him at all times. That's the only
Yeah,
annoying part.
they both wanna sleep with him.
Yeah, but I am
That's
loving
what he meant when he said let's go to the beach. That was a code word for let's go to Pound
I
Town.
am loving this Aaron note where he's like, you know what, like, don't fuck with me. I know what I'm doing, and
Mhm.
like I will fucking destroy you if you get in my way. And I'm loving this side of Aaron because it's not 180 at all. Like people are saying, where did this come from? Like this was always him from the beginning. The only difference is
Yeah.
now is that he's not agreeing. The scouts aren't agreeing with him.
Mhm.
So I
And I
don't.
think it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
I don't think it's out of character for him to be doing this. I think it's totally within character.
I would say with everything he's been through, I think this is something he would go to because when people go through trauma, they can either become better of it or allow it to change them for the worse. And I
Hmm.
think that's something that's definitely happened to Aaron.
Hmm.
His perspective on justice and what it means to truly be victorious is definitely warped. I mean, just look at their journey. They used to think Titans were just monsters, and now they know that the Titans were people all along.
Yeah, maybe
Their
they
own
were.
people,
Yeah,
if anything.
exactly. And like the
So
Titans are like in the walls and how the government like brainwashed them. It was the whole fucking debacle. Like they went through a lot.
and there was a time skip, so you can always say in that time skip he got edgier.
Yeah, which they kind of alluded to a little bit.
Yeah, they alluded. I think you guys are gonna get some more. I think in the manga there are a few more like flashbacks to him saying cryptic things. So you guys are gonna
Okay.
get some more.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. But I'm gonna get ready to wrap up this podcast, but I forgot to intro it like how I
Yeah.
usually do because it's been a week since I've hosted the podcast. What have you been watching, playing, or listening to this week?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for asking. I've been playing Genshin Impact as I always do every week.
Uh-huh.
I've been watching Superman and Lois
How
Lane
is
as
that?
well as Queen's Gambit. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I know some people have problems with the kids in the show,
Uh-huh.
which I can think are understandable, but I think they're all right.
Do you think they're going to
So I've been
introduce
watching.
Batman in that show?
They no, they're not. They kind of introduced an actor for Batman,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a Hush.
Oh,
So
okay.
I guess if they ever want to bring Batman back, they
They can
can
just
use
bring
that same
him.
actor. Yeah, in Batwoman, but I don't think they're going to introduce Batman and Superman because it's kind of just about his family.
Okay, so it's not just Batman. I mean, it's not just Superman in the show. Like, Lois Lane has a
No,
very key part to play in it.
it's Superman and Lois Lane. I feel like they're very much going to do the thing where he's on the ground fighting the bad guys, and she's being the reporter saying, "Ah, I found the invoices for this, and you're doing this to do." Like they're going
Okay,
to set that up.
that sounds cool. I'm never gonna watch it, but that sounds cool.
Yeah. And there's a whole drama where they have two sons, and one of them has powers and one of them doesn't. And one of them's
Oh.
well adjusted, and one has mental disorders. And the mental disorder one has the powers.
Mm-hmm. What if he becomes
So
Bizarro?
no,
I know.
there was already Bizarro.
No, there was a Bizarro in that show.
Yeah, Supergirl. No, Supergirl did. The funny thing about Supergirl, they took so many things from Clark Kent and gave it to her, and it's funny. But yeah, there was Bizarro and Supergirl.
Okay. As for me, I just finished watching
Yeah, what
BoJack.
have you been watching?
I
What have you
finished
been
watching
playing?
BoJack last week.
So good, so good,
It was so fucking good. Oh my god.
so good.
I finished. I finally finished like all of the Gears of War stuff I've been meaning to play, so that was really
Uh-huh.
fun. And now I'm just playing Watch Dogs. That's about it. But just to give everyone a heads up who are listening to the podcast, um, the next 2 weeks I'm probably gonna be MIA again. That is
So
because
you might get me.
yeah. So you just might get Jacob Knight here because I am working on my senior project for my college course, and I need to just make sure that the project I'm working on is up to speed. It's what my professor wants, and I need to do it, and it takes priority over this.
Mhm.
So if you guys see me missing again, that is why. But yeah, I think we're probably just gonna end it right now. Is there anything you want to end it on? Any piece of
You can
advice? Anything?
follow. You can follow me on Twitter at Jacob Knight JK. You can follow me at Panels and Pages at WordPress to see me write about comics. I'm doing it for a 240 journalism class. And you can check out my photography in Noah Garcia _photography, where I'm also posting lots of fun pics. And I also hope that everyone is being safe and sound and healthy.
Yeah, as for myself, you could follow all of my Twitch endeavors at twitch.tv/I'm Joshua Joestar. Same with I have a Twitch Instagram it's at I'm Joshua Joestar. And I have a personal one at I'm Luis Gutierrez. But most importantly, if you want to follow the Geek Press on any of our social medias, for Twitter and Instagram, it is Da Geek Press. So it's DAGEEKPRESS. And for TikTok, it's The Geek Press. So it's the THE, then Geek Press. And of course, our YouTube channel as well. And if you may have noticed, I've been using a new app on my phone, and it's giving us like these cool little borders and effects that we could make our post on, and it looks way more legit. And I'm super happy with this
Oh,
stuff.
1,000,000%.
And
It
I'm
looks
waiting.
so good.
Yeah, and like I'm like really, really excited. There's like some other features on there I'm waiting to use, but I'm like I really do love that like border and all that. But I think that's about it for now. I think the piece of advice I want to end it on, just like Jacob Knight said, be safe out there. The vaccines are actually here. Just wait your turn. Be safe. We're almost through this. Fingers crossed. Everyone makes it out alive, and yeah, just be safe. Wear a mask and look out for one another. But with all that being said, I am your host, Luis Gutierrez. Thank you for watching this far, if you are listening in this far, if you made it. And if you guys have any feedback, feel free to at us and be like, hey, at Goku, I liked it when Jacob Knight talked about his political beliefs when he came to South Park. Maybe he had a point. Or at Little Green Alien, Luis was wrong when he said this. Maybe talk about this, and we'll shout you out too. We'll be like, oh, at so and so said this, or If you have any
Yeah,
feedback,
we'll do
anything like,
comment shout outs if we get any.
yeah, we haven't got any yet, but we'll get some.
Just start making burner accounts and just
I
like
know, just
inflate our egos.
But with all that being said, my name is Luis Gutierrez. This is Jacob Knight over here. Thank you for watching and listening. It is March 9th, but we plan to have this up March 10th. And I'll see you when I see you. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
I hope you guys had fun listening to episode 12 of the Geek Press podcast, because I know me and Jacob Knight had a blast recording. But if you guys can, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and leave a good review, because it really means the world to us. But until then, I hope you guys take care, and we'll see you when we see you.